Welcome back to the second half of NewsBreak Live, and joining me is President and Superintendent from El Camino College, Dr. Dena Maloney. Thank you so much for being on my show.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
Dr. Maloney, there's always exciting projects and programs in the works at El Camino College. So let's first start talking about what 2018 will bring, which is a lot of construction, correct?
That's right. So in 2002 and then again in 2012, the voters in our district approved general obligation bonds that allowed us to modernize and update the campus. Right now we have 4 projects underway. We have a new student services building. It's going to open later on this year. It's going to replace a building that was built in the 1940s. So it's going to be completely modern and bring all of the services that a student would need to enter the college and on their way out when they're going to graduate. There'll be counselors and all kinds of resources in the building. We're also building a new administration building. That's an $18 million project. That's going to break ground soon. And you might have seen the old administration building has recently been demolished and we're about ready to start construction. We are also building a new pool and classrooms project. That will break ground a little later this year, but currently underway and well into construction is a new gymnasium. And that's going to house our badminton, volleyball, and basketball team sports as well as classrooms. That's under construction and should open in the next 12 to 14 months.
What will some of these renovations, what kind of impact will it have on student life, especially the gymnasium and the extracurricular activities?
Yeah. Well, the buildings really reflect our educational master plan and the curricular innovations that we're undertaking at El Camino College. Athletics is a very important component to our program, but these buildings will support all students because their classrooms, there's new technology, student services will provide financial aid, counseling, our Veterans Center, all kinds of programs for all students. So I think these buildings really reflect where El Camino is going in terms of the kinds of curriculum we're offering and the sorts of programs we're making available to students.
And on top of the great renovations that are underway, a few months ago we were actually at the ribbon cutting for El Camino College's Warrior Pantry, which had its grand opening. And it's such a great mission, and it's also following a huge trend that's happening across the country. So if you can tell our viewers what it's all about.
Sure. The Warrior Pantry opened a few months ago, and it was actually a student-led initiative. Unfortunately, there are a lot of students at college campuses across the state and across the nation that have food insecurities. And so we opened the Warrior Pantry. It's funded and staffed by students and faculty, and it's not faculty, I'm sorry, funded by students and our student services folks. And it really is designed to help students who have food insecurities have access to non-perishable food items. People can support the pantry through donations through our foundation or through donations of non-perishable food items at bins in the library, in our student activities building, and throughout the campus. And it is really serving a need because unfortunately we do have students that have food insecurities and need access to a pantry such as the Warrior Pantry.
Is there a current need at the Warrior Pantry right now? I know it's fairly new. So
yes.
Are there certain type of items that you're asking the
Yes.
community to donate? Because it is completely all donations, right?
It is. And we're developing partnerships with local grocers and other food associations that can help us stock it. But we always will need donations of non-perishable food items, noodle cups and things of that nature that students, of course, would enjoy and be able to use. When the new student services building opens, we're going to relocate the food pantry to that facility, so everything supporting students is under one roof right there.
It's a different type of initiative, and I think it's special that the students started it. And how is it for you as the president of the campus to be part of such an initiative that is helping students in a different way, not necessarily with education?
So students face a lot of barriers, not just academic barriers, but barriers in terms of housing and transportation and food. And it's really gratifying to see that our student association recognized that and helped us move forward with a partnership with Metro for the UPass for transportation, the Warrior Pantry for food insecurities, and other sources of support so that our students can focus on the academic program and not be worried about those sorts of things.
And El Camino College has a lot of great programs, and one that we're just going to start talking about, it has to do with enrollment. So before we get into that, how many students are currently enrolled at El Camino College?
We serve about 32,000 students per year, and many of them are part-time students. About a third of our student body is full-time, carrying 12 or more units, and then the rest of the students are part-time, less than 12 units.
And speaking of enrollment, El Camino College supports a great program called South Bay Promise. I don't know if many people know about it, but tell me when it was initiated and how it's unfolded over the years.
So the South Bay Promise started in 2014. It was a partnership with the South Bay Workforce Investment Board, El Camino College, Centinela Valley Union High School District, and the Inglewood Unified School District. We started small. Also, Cal State Dominguez Hills was another important partner. But we started small with about 30 students from each high school district. And the promise really is all about providing access to higher education. So students who are in the promise do not pay their enrollment fees. Those are covered through the promise. And they receive the support and systems in place that will help them be successful in completing their program of study and either going into the workforce or transferring. In 2017, we added the Torrance Unified School District to the partnership, so now we have 30 students in the partnership and in the Promise program at El Camino College. But in the fall of 2018, we're scaling up to provide this to 500 students.
Wow.
Our foundation is fundraising to support that, and in addition, the state of California last year passed a law that would enable these kinds of promises to be made up and down the state at all 114 colleges in California. The governor's budget proposal includes funding of $46 million to help fund that promise. But in the meantime, we're continuing to work on local efforts so that we can provide students with not only access to higher education, but also the services that they need to be successful and to transfer, graduate, or go into the workforce.
And the South Bay Promise program offers not just an education, but it offers other great resources like you mentioned. Can you talk about some of those?
Sure. Students entering the Promise will go into one of 3 different cohort programs. They're learning communities that help support one another as they go through their program of study. So we have a first-year experience program, so students could go into that. They could go into our extended opportunities and program services, or they could also go into our honors transfer program. But they'll go into one of those 3 programs that provides them access to tutors, counseling, kinds of educational planning, and the sort of resources that students need in order to persist and reach their goals.
The application process for the 2018 year is open right now. So who can apply? What are some of the requirements?
Any student who's graduating this year from a high school in our service area for El Camino, or a homeschool student for that matter, any student can apply who is graduating and intends to attend El Camino College on a full-time basis in fall of 2018. The application and other information is available on our website.
Great program, and we talked about some of the current projects and programs that are available right now, but what are some projects that are maybe in the works for later on this year and in the future that you think the community would be interested in?
We're working on a concept of what we're calling the South Bay public safety training program. And this is something that we have partnered with local public safety agencies to try to identify a location where we could offer not only our police and fire training programs to students at El Camino College, but that these other partners could use for their ongoing training for their incumbent workforce. Police and fire personnel have ongoing training requirements, and oftentimes they have to go far away from the South Bay to participate in those trainings. We're hoping that we can develop this over the next few years and be able to provide the community with a local resource that can train police, fire, EMTs, public safety, first responder people, and also be a resource for our local agencies that need the access to this training as well.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah.
And I'd also like to take this opportunity to ask you about El Camino College and just the bigger picture for students who may be interested in going to a college like El Camino. What are some of the perks? I know El Camino College has one of the highest transfer rates, which the school prides itself in, but just tell me about the campus.
We're a comprehensive community college. We offer everything from the liberal arts education to career and technical education to STEM, science, technology, engineering, math, athletics. We're a comprehensive college here in the South Bay. And I think one of the things that makes us unique is the wraparound services that we provide. So when students enter El Camino College, they have access to incredible faculty, wonderful resources for tutoring, supplemental instruction, educational planning, advising from counselors, career advising. Many students enter the college and they're not quite sure yet what they want to do with their education. So we have counselors that are available to help them narrow down their career choices. We're one of the top 10 colleges in California for transferring students to the University of California system. And we're one of the top 3 for transferring students to the California State University system. So if you enter El Camino College and your goal is to transfer, you're in the right place.
It sure sounds like there's a lot of great programs there, especially for someone who does want to transfer. And El Camino College also has great events happening year-round that the community can also stop by and participate in. And I'm going to focus on some events that are happening this week, which is the 3 Dynamic Nights of Dance. It's part of the 30th Annual International Conference and Festivals of Blacks in Dance. So tell me a little bit about that. And I know there's a lot of different concerts and different events that happen that are so diverse.
Right. So this particular weekend, the 25th through the 27th, we're offering this 3 Dynamic Nights of Dance program. LULA Washington Dance Company is the lead in this area. And every single night of those 3 nights is going to be a different dance performance with youth and different styles of dance. So somebody could come one night and see one style and come the next night and see something completely different. And that's kind of part of our mission too, is to provide those kinds of cultural enrichment opportunities to students in the community. We offer a lot of different things in terms of film, dance, music. We have students who are excellent in choral and vocal performances. We have a group that's going to go to the Carnegie Hall in New York City this spring. So the faculty in our fine arts department and throughout the college really is outstanding, and the kinds of programs that we offer are something that people in the community can take advantage of for a very low cost.
Well, Dr. Maloney, thank you so much for your time. It was great speaking with you.
Thank you so much.
And you can always stay connected with all the great events and the programs at El Camino College by going to elcamino.edu. Well, that does it for Newsbreak Live. And if you ever have news or video that you'd like to share, please email us at newsbreak@torranceca.gov. For Facebook and Twitter users, use #NewsbreakLive. Have a great night.